Good morning. I'm doing a practical on the medical anatomical terms, and I'll start by showing you the anatomical position. So this is the anatomical position, which is really the position of the skeleton, where the skeleton is standing with legs separated and arms open wide. So this is what we would call the anatomical position. Now when we go on to planes, so here let's look around for some planes. Okay. For example, here we have the head, which has been cut in a sagittal plane. Okay, so this is the plane that divides the body into a right and a left side. Here is the foot that has been cut in a transverse or horizontal plane. This divides the body into an up and down section. So we are looking now for a coronal section. The coronal section cuts the head into the section into right in the middle. So this is a section of the kidney which has been cut in a coronal plane, which is like a crown from right to left. Okay, so it cuts the body into an anterior and posterior section. This section is a sagittal plane. It has cut the body into a right and a left side. So the main planes that we discussed was the sagittal plane, the coronal plane, the horizontal plane. Now, we discussed also lines of the body. The body can be cut into lines. This is helpful in showing the various locations of different organs. So for example, a line that runs from the middle of the clavicle down is a vertical line, okay? And it is the mid-clavicular line because it cuts through the middle of the clavicle. Then a line that you would draw midway between this bone, which is called the suprasternal notch, and this area, which is called the pubic symphysis, okay, midway is the hypochondrial plane, the transpyloric plane. The transpyloric plane runs like this. It's a line midway between the suprasternal notch and the pubic tubercle here. And then the other line we draw is along the iliac crest here. We find a prominence called the pubic tubercle. We draw a transtubercular line. Okay, and these two vertical lines and two horizontal lines divide the abdomen into the abdominal cavity into 6 areas. The hypochondrium here. Okay. The right hypochondrium, the epigastrium, and the left hypochondrium. Then in the middle, the umbilicus, the left lumbar area, the right lumbar area, then below the right iliac fossa or the right iliac area, the umbilical area or the suprapubic area, and the left. These are the 6 areas: epigastrium, the right hypochondrium, the left hypochondrium, umbilicus in the middle here, the right and left lumbar area, or rather the left and right, the right iliac fossa, the left iliac fossa, and the suprapubic area. That makes the 9 areas. The other thing we discussed in the class is movements. So we discussed planes, or the position, planes, and movements, which are called pulsions. Okay? So there are several movements around the joints. So for example, when two joint pieces come together, this is called flexion. Okay? Let me do it on my... Okay, so when I do this with my little finger, this is flexion. So I bring the two pieces of the little finger together. Okay, I close the joint. This is called flexion. When I open the joint, this is called extension. When I do it on my elbow, this is called flexion. This is called extension. Okay? Then if I open my shoulder to the side, this is called abduction. This is called adduction. So to show it on the... This is abduction, abduction, adduction, bringing the fingers together, bringing the shoulder joint together. So I'm talking about the most common type of movements. I can do the same fingers. So my fingers are separated, that is abduction. They're brought together, that is adduction. My thumb is separated, that's abduction. Brought together, that's adduction. Abduction, adduction. Okay? And then the more specialized joints can do a combination of movements. For example, you can swing your shoulder all the way around. That is called circumduction. It's a combination of adduction, flexion, abduction, extension, and adduction. Okay? So it's a complex movement, which is a rotary movement. This can only be done at the ball and socket joints of the shoulder and of the hip. So that's the main movements that we discussed. So just to revise again, we have done the position, the anatomical position. We've done the planes. We have done the pulsions or movements, okay, and have highlighted some of the key. So this is a small practical that you need to do. You watch this and you'll be able to answer the questions in the practical. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.